Welcome back to the program. It's Capital Market Live on Channels Television. MTN is Ghana's largest telecom company as it is in Nigeria here, and it's raising 3.48 billion cedis by way of initial public offer from the Ghanaian capital markets. With over 4.64 billion shares of the company, representing 35% of indicative free float at 0.75 per share, is on offer. And the minimum purchase is said to be 10 shares, which translates into 7.5 cedis, and then in multiples of 10 shares thereafter. Basically, let's join Victor Avevo of Carl Brokers Limited of Ghana now for some insight. Victor, thank you very much for joining us on Capital Market this evening.
Yeah, hi, Tempo. Good evening.
Good evening. It's really good to see you since the last time we met in October.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay.
A few things have happened on the market since then.
That's interesting.
I'm sure we'll catch up.
Sure. So what are we learning about the MTN Ghana IPO at the moment?
Well, that's the latest buzz on our capital market, the biggest offer the market has ever seen. And there's generally a lot of interest from shareholders, especially the retail side of the market. And we think that this is an exciting time for the market, really, because this is a very big one. And as you know, the GSE doesn't have any telecom company represented. So MTN is going to be the first company that will occupy that slot.
So right. How much of investments are we seeing on the part of retail investors that this is kind of really targeting? Because we understand that the method of application is also electronic by having to dial *533#. What's the experience like, and what's the investment terrain like right now?
That's also a new thing. Kudos to the lead managers of the offer, IC Securities. I think they did a fantastic work. And of course, MTN being the market leader in that sector, they leverage on the mobile money to sign in a lot of the subscribers. And you notice that this is probably one of the longest IPO with regards to the timetable we've seen on our market. It opened on the 29th of May and is expected to end on 31st of July. Normally, IPOs we see on our market typically have 30 days. After which, if capital is not raised, adequate capital is not raised, they extend. But in this instance, and I glean that is because they want to rope in a lot of the retail guys as much as possible. It's the reason why we have a two months window to mop up. And I mean, I don't work with the lead managers, but information I've gathered from them so far is that the interest is high. There are a lot of people signing up. And then they think that at the end of the day, we'll have a lot of retail investors that will account for the float.
Are there chances that the institutional investors are likely to outweigh the retail investors in any case?
Most likely. You know, the retail guys come in with the pennies. We still need them on the market anyway, but definitely, I know there's a lot of institutional interest. So at the end of the day, we expect that with regards to the nominal amount of subscriptions, the institutional investors will outweigh the retail guys.
So what is this relationship between MTN and Scancom? What is it like in light of this IPO going on right now?
No, Scancom really is the mother company. MTN is just their working name. So, I mean, it's basically the same thing.
Okay, so that isn't given any kind of confusion in terms of having to buy into the IPO?
No, not at all. I think that has been managed very well. And I mean, if you run around, you walk around and you measure, or you talk to people on the street, everybody understands that Scancom is the registered company and MTN is just the working name. So there isn't any confusion that we've gathered from that.
Well, I think that before I go to PPPs, I think you will indulge me to go back to the debt issue.
Go ahead.
And I think it's a very important issue. And it has been used, in my view, in some quarters, not all quarters, in some quarters, as a political scaremongering tactic. And what you hear is, oh, government shouldn't borrow, because they are mortgaging the future of your children. And you also then hear government shouldn't increase taxes either. And yet, government should provide services. From which resources? And I think that those who know, this is a matter we must have consensus about. And those who know must stand up and speak up. First, that there is nothing wrong with debt. Secondly, good debt is debt in investment, in infrastructure.
Good debt is debt in investments in infrastructure. Coming from Mr. Babatunde Fashola, Minister of Power Works and Housing. That's all the time we have on the program this evening. Watch out for more of this next week. And during the course of the week, we should have the AGM of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. And we do hope that MTN Nigeria will kick off with its own IPO any moment from now. Thank you for watching the program. I'm Temple Ashaju. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.